Speaking of competition, a man who knows that very well, especially at the college level, all the years he's been here in San Diego State and beyond, Brian Dutcher, the new head coach of the men's Aztecs basketball team on a 6-game winning streak heading into the Mountain West Conference tournament. They'll play tomorrow against Fresno State in the opening round, 2:30 tip-off. Coach, you guys are hitting the road. How you feeling?
Just landed Vegas, waiting at baggage claim. So smooth flight, and we'll grab a little dinner and watch a little tape tonight and be ready to go tomorrow.
Coach, playing in Vegas as this tournament is generally held there, is that because Vegas can be a distraction? Is it a little bit more comfortable that you're familiar being there and that, this is not your first trip in this tournament to Las Vegas, I don't believe, to play in this tournament?
No, every trip is the same. Vegas can have its distractions, but our kids are pretty focused. We're mostly either in the hotel or at shoot-around or at some type of meeting, and I don't think they're tempted to get out of the hotel or do anything like that. I think they're singularly focused on trying to win 3 games in 3 days and get an NCAA tournament berth.
How important is it that you guys are out of this play-in bracket where last year it sort of seemed like the legs got swept out from under the team as the days ticked by and the games mounted? How important is it that it takes 3 to win this whole thing?
I think from a fresh leg standpoint, it definitely helps. But there are times you look at a team like UConn who won the national title the year they beat us in the Sweet 16. I think they had to win 5 games in their conference tournament and then win 6 in the NCAA tournament. So if you're playing well, the difference between 3 and 4 obviously is 1 game. But if you're playing well, that's more important than the numbers of games.
Coach, the way the team's going right now, I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, that it felt like you guys got hot at the right time. And going into this tournament, do you feel, trying to put bias aside to a certain extent, do you feel like you're the hottest team in this tournament right now?
I've told the guys for the last 2 weeks we're the best team in the conference. Now, that might have been a motivating thing for them as much as anything, breathing confidence into them. But if they don't believe that, they got no chance of winning. And so we're confident right now. We're being led by our 2 senior captains, Trey Kell and Malik Pope. And we're on a bit of a roll. So hopefully we can continue with that confidence and continue to execute at the level we're playing and find a way to win some games here.
Did your plane land smoothly, or did you have a Michigan situation like last year? Anything that happened on the plane that might have motivated you, like say some some turbulence or anything like that?
If I thought it took the plane running off the runway to win this thing, I'd have told the pilot to take her off the back end of it. But no, everything was smooth sailing, boys.
Oh, that's fantastic. Head coach Brian Dutcher joining us, men's Aztecs head basketball coach. Trey Kell, as you mentioned, Malik Pope. Kell scored 6 points in the final minute and change. He finished the game with 17 against Nevada. Malik Pope scored 16 points of his own. That was a 79-74 victory, and you had scorers all over the court against the Wolfpack. Those Martin brothers played great, as they always do. Caroline, as you guys get geared up to play against Fresno State, such an emotional peak for the season, doing what these guys did on senior night, home crowd, electric environment. Are you worried about the letdown?
No, I don't think so, and that's the nice part of having seniors on the floor. Cam Brooks, who has not got a lot of minutes, played a magnificent senior night. Trey and Malik followed right in suit, and when you're led by upperclassmen, you avoid those letdowns. And I told the team today that we are going to play through Trey and we are going to play through Malik, and they're going to lead us. And Trey he's the number 1 guy in the country over the last 6 games. With assists to turnovers. I think he's averaging 7 assists and 1 turnover a game over the last 6 games. So we're going to put the ball in his hands, and hopefully he'll continue to make the right play for us.
That's a good plan. Watching the way this team plays around Kell running an offense versus without him, I realize injury issues, there's nothing you can do about it. It's been fantastic to watch down the stretch of this season. You mentioned the name Cameron Rooks. I was absolutely floored by his minutes on the hardwood the other night when you guys beat Nevada. He was rim protecting, making all the shots he's supposed to in the paint. That was really did it just click in? He hasn't played significant minutes throughout the season. Can we expect to see you going with the hot hand again and maybe him being in the starting lineup against Fresno State?
I don't think we'll start Cam, but I'm going to go to him off the bench. And like I said, you play well and you get more minutes. And Moulin the Rain has been on an incredible run for us over the last 5 or 6 games. Cam played a little better than Nolan in the last game, but we will try them both, and whichever one is most productive, we'll get those minutes.
Well, whoever takes the floor, we wish you the best of luck out there in Vegas. Thank you so much for taking some time.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you very much. And by the way, how was the meal on the flight on the way over? Are you a peanuts guy when they pass them around, or what would you dig into?
Peanuts and pretzels, boys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. First class. Thank you. And you are first class. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
There goes Brian Dutcher, head coach of the men's basketball team, Aztecs.
You couldn't ask for more at this time of year from them.
You can't.
After the way they struggled in the middle of the season, and, there were times when you looked at this team and you thought, well, I guess it's NIT if they're lucky, and then they get hot at the right time. And he was, stalwart through all of that stuff. I remember seeing him in here, like, acting as if everything was cool and fine and no problem. And he goes, but everyone else out there is acting like the world is falling, and it's fine. Don't worry.